Okay, I'm going to do a quick video on how to do stacking of two layers, and I'm going to do that with two photos of cars, and I'm going to just have a bit of a quick edit and you can see basically how you can utilize this. So let's say I'll open this photo here and I'll just use F6 to remove the materials palette over on the right here. As a matter of habit, I changed the name of the layer. I don't like to have background there because you cannot move anything behind it if it's called background. So I'll go back to the organizer and I'll drag another picture, and this time I'll choose this one here. And I'm going to grab that with the left mouse button. I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to drop it on top of the picture I had there before, so it becomes visible. Okay, now you can, at this point, I'm going to grab this tool over here. Of course, everything's gone haywire. I've zoomed back. Now, basically, you have to imagine you're looking down from the top here. So I can only see this image at the moment. I can't see the one that's behind it unless I remove the eye, so I can't see it. But I can use this slider up here to change the how dense that layering is. So I can see now that that car basically on top. So my idea for this photograph, I'm going to move this picture of the car in the foreground over to the left here, and I'm going to make it appear that that was closer to the camera, and I took the shot once. Okay, so I can put that back to 100%. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mask layer. Now a mask layer you can put up so you can mask out either the front photograph or the rear photograph. I'm going to do a new mask layer, and I'm going to do a hide all because I only want to see my background layer. Okay, and that produces this mask, a black mask, which means I see nothing behind it. I'll put my materials layer back in. So now you see I'm going to choose a brush, and if I paint with my left mouse button black or white with the right mouse button, will change what I see here. So I'm going to get a bit of a bigger brush, so that size, and I'm going to change my opacity to 100% because that'll just make it easier, and I'm going to paint white here. And by doing that, I bring the vehicle, or the rear picture, or the front picture rather, into view. I'm going to try and get the line of the bonnet as close as I can with the light. Very hard with the big brush. Okay. So if I removed the rear layer, there you'd see I only have that visible through the mask. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now go in closer, so I'll make a smaller tool. Yeah. And I'll zoom in. Oops. I'll zoom in, and now you can see a bit better here. If I paint white, I'll paint black, and I'll try and get the edge of the bonnet there. Get a smooth line coming up here. And actually I kind of like that little Ferris wheel that was there, so I might just change that photograph so that it's there. By going close here, I've got to fix this up because when I got close to the bumper bar there, to the front bar, and normally when I was doing this, I would be doing it at an opacity that wasn't 100%. I'd be doing it at, say, 50%, so that it would take me a couple of presses or passes to get it accurate, and it gives you that flexibility to get it looking a lot better. Okay, so you use one to paint it in, one to paint it out, and you end up with this nicely matched car. Okay, so there you have it. So with the separate layers, there's something else you can do, but I'll do that a different way. I won't do it at this stage. Well, I'll show you how I can do it. I can make this back layer here. I can apply Gaussian Blur to it. And what that will do is it will add bokeh to the rear layer and make it look like that second car is fuzzy, and it should draw your attention more to the car at the front. Like that. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out and I'm going to show you how to do that after I've made it one layer. Okay, now I've made it one layer. I can right click on this and I can duplicate it. Okay, on the top layer I grab this edge tool. I'm just going to do this rough. This is set to smart edge, so it will, as long as I grab somewhere along the boundary line, it will grab that around the edges, double click here, and that creates an area. Alright, so now when I choose new mask, I also get show selection or hide selection. Now in this particular case I want to show selection because I want to see my foreground object. Okay, so basically what I've done is, now I'll do a Control D to remove that selection. Now basically what I've done is I've put it back to where it was before, where I have the rear layer and the front layer. Now I can apply Gaussian Blur to that. So basically what I did then was do to what would have been a single photograph, was split it into the two parts, but because of the way I created it in the first place, of course I had those two original parts there. So there you go. You have the rear with Gaussian Blur, the foreground, that looks like you took it with focused on this car on the left, with the car in the background there with a shallow depth of field. So once again we'll make that one layer. I'll show you one more quick thing that I've set up to do in PaintShop Pro. I just press this button here and that automatically will watermark my photograph and I can save it like that. But I'll show you how to do that in another video.